So adorning my shiny bonce today is Beats' latest on-ear headphones, the Solo 4. Boasting up to 50 hours battery life and rejiggered acoustics. They'll drain your savings by $199, probably about the same in British quids. I've been tested for a few days now, so here's my Beats Solo 4 review. And for more on the latest and greatest tech, please do subscribe and ding that notifications bell. Cheers! Now if you bag yourself a pair of the Beats Solo 4s, you do get a nifty wee carry case that you can just wodge them into when you go on your travels. Yeah, thankfully the Solo 4s do fold up nice and compact so they can be easily smushed in there. It's a well padded case offering plenty of protection. You can literally hoy it off the wall. No worries. But although the Beats Solo 4s do fold up nice and compact, unfortunately the cups do not swivel, so it's not the most comfortable when you've got them gripped around your neck like so. You've got a choice of 3 different colours. This here is the blue effort. Of course, you've also got them in black or pink. Now, I've got to say, for a pair of headphones, they're pretty light at just a butterfly's bollock over 200 grams. They're easily adjustable, as you can see there, so they'll fit bonces of all sizes and shapes. There doesn't appear to be much padding on that headband, but I had absolutely no issues even when they were resting on my equally not as well padded bonce for quite some time. And then you've got the ultra plush memory foam ear cups, which just rest on top of your ears rather than enveloping them. And although these do exert a fair bit of pressure on your lugs, I again didn't find the Beats Solo 4 uncomfortable to wear for, a good couple of hours at a time. Only to occasionally make minor tweaks and adjustments. And these things certainly grip your head nice and tight. They hold on there pretty firmly, and just to prove it, watch test. So certainly if you're looking for a pair of over-ears to rock down the gym or jogging down the pavement or whatever, then the Beats Solo 4 will do the job. And even though Beats is an Apple-owned company, the Solo 4 headphones still play nicely with Android phones, just as they do with iPhones. Of course, iPhone owners have all the necessary tools built into iOS, whereas if you are an Android owner, you'll want to download the Beats app. Not that you'll be missing out on a huge amount of functionality if you don't, because it is very bare bones compared with a lot of rivals. You can get a precise readout on the battery life. You can also rename your Beats if you fancy doing that. And besides that, we're talking about a tiny amount of customization here. You can basically say whether you end a call with 1 push of the B button or 2. Besides that, there's a Find My Beats tool, and you can update the firmware as well, and that's pretty much it. Now here on the right cup, you'll find the tiniest power button in the world, just squirreled away on the bottom edge there. The main controls are over here on the left cup. You've got the B button here in the middle. A quick push of that will pause or play your music. You can also skip forward a track with a double push or skip back a track with a triple push. There is also an outer ring surrounding that B button. If you push up towards the top end of that, that will boost the volume up a bit, and quick push at the bottom end will bump it back down. You could also use that B button to answer and to end any phone calls, and if you long press it, you will conjure up your smartphone assistant. And if you're an iOS owner, you've also got Hey Siri support, so you can call up Siri with your voice alone if you fancy arguing with someone that doesn't exist. And sadly, there's no auto pause functionality here on the Beats Solo 4, so if you do slip the headphones off, whatever audio you're listening to, be it a podcast or whatever, will continue playing. You got to remember to either poke that button before you take the headphones off, otherwise you'll have to awkwardly skip back through your podcast, your audiobook, whatever. And it is a real shame that feature's missing in action here, because it's really handy if somebody suddenly starts banging on at you, or you realise you're missing an important announcement at a station or on a train or whatever. But what you do get here on Beats Solo 4s is a 3.5mm headphone jack. You've also got Type-C USB for charging, and also for wired connections. As far as the audio goes, well, Beats has upgraded the acoustic architecture here, so you've now got 40mm transducers. It's a bit of Bluetooth 5.3 for your wireless audio streaming, and certainly here on my Android smartphone, the only supported codec was AAC, no LDAC, no LHDC, no aptX shenanigans. Likewise, you can't fiddle around with different acoustic presets here in the Beats app. You've got no equalizer you can mess around with. It's basically the Beats tuning or nothing. And if you've used Beats headphones in recent times, you'll know exactly what to expect. It's your typical crowd-pleasing sound, nice punchy lows, but without sacrificing the highs. The Beats Solo 4s have pretty decent range. Stereo effects work really well. You've also got Apple's spatial audio support on here with dynamic head tracking. And vocals come through crisp and clean as well. I certainly enjoyed a good bit of podcast and audiobook action. And the Beats 4 solos certainly shine when it comes to popular music, a good bit of dance and poppy shenanigans, but certainly when it comes to the rock and the metal stuff, they're perfectly fine. You've also got high-res lossless audio support via the 3.5mm wired connection and also the USB Type-C, and both of those cables came bundled in the case. Now, one of the only real disappointments with the Beats Solo 4 headphones is the fact that even at this sort of $200, £200 price point, there is no active noise cancellation built in. It's quite surprising considering headphones half the price of this often have ANC as standard. The noise isolation is okay because they do form a semi-decent seal around your lugs. It's fine if you're just, in a cafe or somewhere with just a little bit of ambient noise, but certainly if you're walking down a high street with lots of traffic tearing by, or you're on a London tube or something like that, then quite a lot of that noise will filter in. And if you're listening to a podcast or an audiobook, you'll have to jack up the volume to actually hear every word. So certainly if you find yourself out and about a lot, I would recommend picking up an alternative pair of headphones, something like the Sony XM4s, for instance. They're now around about the same sort of price as these and still absolute bangers. And if you actually like to make calls, phone calls, those are still a thing, I'm sure. Well, the good news is that the Beats Solo 4 has a respectable bit of built-in mic action, so it can cleanly pick up on your voice. And Apple's AI-powered noise cancelling shenanigans can help to focus on your voice and muffle out any other shindiggery going on all around you, such as these simulated traffic sounds, any kinds of windy guff, that kind of thing. But certainly the big upgrade for the Beats Solo 4s compared with previous models is the battery life. Now, Beats reckons you'll get around 50 hours of full-on audio playback from a single charge of these bad boys. Certainly helped along by the fact that there's no ANC or other bits like that to further drain the battery. And I found that that's approximately right. I probably got around sort of 40 to 45-ish hours from a full charge. And that's with occasionally leaving them switched on, just dangling around my neck if I was having a conversation or whatever. But certainly if you're going on a very, very long journey, they shouldn't burn out halfway through. You could get around the entire globe on a single charge of these things. And when they're nearly depleted, they do charge up fairly quickly as well. 10 minutes in the plug and you'll get about sort of 4 to 5 hours of playback. And even if your battery is completely deceased, well, no worries, the Solo 4 will still spaff music into your ears via the 3.5mm headphone jack, as long as you've got a device that actually has one. And there you have it. That is my thoughts on the Beats Solo 4 to use them as my full-time headphones. Nice and light and compact and reasonably comfortable to wear. Fantastic battery life and the kind of audio spaffage that should please most users. However, missing out on some key headphone features I would expect at this price point, like the noise cancellation, very little customization as well, especially when it comes to the audio output. But that's what I reckon of the Beats Solo 4s. It'd be great to hear your thoughts down in the comments below. Please do subscribe and ding that notifications bell for more on the latest and greatest tech, and have yourselves a ruddy, wonderful rest of the week. Cheers everyone. Love you.